Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now, this puzzle excites and terrifies me. Look at it. There is something to notice about this grid, and that is that it has no numbers in it. And if you look at the rule set, you will still be as gobsmacked by that as I am. It is amazing that this has no numbers in it. No clues outside the grid, no clues inside the grid, no given digits. Just a rule set to do with X sums that seems entirely predictable, even introduces the number 0, so it almost makes things harder than they otherwise would be. And there are so few cages and so little of the grid is covered by any form of clues. It's incredible to me that this has a unique solution. And Simon showed the puzzle to me, and I want to try it. As hard as I believe this is going to be, I want to give it a go because it's fascinating. Eudikos has set puzzles that we've done before and has been incredibly impressive. We've used Eudikos's puzzles in our 500k app, where it was the hardest one and I really struggled in the live stream. We've used them in our apps where they've been a bit easier, thank goodness, in our paid apps. And several of Eudikos's puzzles appear in our first book, and I'm sure there'll be one or two in the second. He is an incredible, though very young, constructor. And this rule set is incredible. But first of all, let me mention that in 2 days' time, we will be releasing a new Patreon reward puzzle hunt, a sudoku hunt, which is based on snakes, is utterly brilliant, and we're really looking forward to your reaction to that. That is coming out in 2 days' time. What else have we got going on? I've mentioned the book. We've got, of course, the live streaming that we've been doing. I think Simon is planning to live stream a video game soon. I may not even be in attendance for that one. I'm not sure quite when he's doing it and whether I can be. So we will see how that goes. We've also got various crosswords going on at the moment. On Patreon, we've got my monthly Battle with the Times Club special, absolutely vicious puzzle. That's quite entertaining for some people. And of course, we've had Simon's video of my puzzle from 20 years ago that was in the first edition of the Magpie. Anyway, I am now going to go through the rules of this puzzle, and we are going to see what on earth it means. Oh, I do want to mention the merchandise, actually. All the links that you can see on the store page ought to work. But if you go to the description field and click on the link there to our merchandise, you'll see even more products, including Christmas stuff. And it is all good fun. For the person in your life who likes Cracking the Cryptic, those are very amusing novelty items, I think. Anyway, right, so the rules of this are normal Sudoku rules apply, but that is to this 9x9 area, of course. The digits 1 to 9 go into this 9x9 area such that each one appears once in each row, once in each column, and once in each 3x3 box. Digits may not repeat within a cage. Numbers outside the grid, there aren't any at the moment, but there will be, are X sums clues. They indicate the sum of the first X cells in the row or column from that direction, where X is the first number in that row or column. So if this row, I'm going to fill with random digits. There we go. If this row had those digits in, the X sums clue this end would add the first 7 digits, including the 7, and would come to 40, which I can't write as 40. We are going to encounter that problem as we go through this puzzle, but it would give 40 as the X sums clue. The clue from this end would count the first 4 digits, and they add up to 22, and I can't write that either. So that's how X sums works. And now we're obviously going to get some X sums clues in the cages. A double-digit X sums clue inside a cage prevents both of its digits from appearing anywhere else in the cage. So if this was 40 over here, that's what we said, I think. If that was 40, then these cells can't contain a 4 or a 0. That's what this means. This rule does mean that 1122, which I came up with there, Well, 11, 22, 33 and 44 are disallowed as X sums clues in cages. Actually, it could have been 22 here because there wouldn't be a clue there. A double-digit X sums clue may include 0, so that 40 is valid. 10, 20, 30 and 40 are valid X sums clues. And that's it. That's all the rules. Now, if you've understood X sums before, there's barely any rules. Like, we need to establish some X sums, but we have to solve the puzzle. I honestly don't know how this is vaguely possible to do without any givens, but I'm really looking forward to finding out. Do, if you dare, give it a try on the first link under the video. I'm going to restart and let's get cracking. And I mean, this is going to be one of those where I stare at the grid forever and go, how can we get cracking? And I thought I had a slight in. I thought those were 9 digits and a tenth. Oh no, this is a slight in. Okay. What I'm thinking is you can put up to 10 digits in a cage, given that 0 can appear in it. And in all of these ones, there could be a 0. Yeah, okay, it's quite interesting. This cage is 9 cells big. Oh, bother. I thought it was helpful, and I don't think it is. What goes in here is what I'm wondering. There's got to be one Sudoku digit left from 1 to 9 that goes in here and is the first digit of this X sum. If it's a 2-digit X sum, the other digit has to be a 0, because that can't appear in any of those cells. However, it could be a 1-digit X sum. So the X sum here is either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30 or 40. And that, I can't pencil mark it. It's not even a deduction worth the name. It's nothing. That's really irritating. I mean, if we get some digits in the grid, it limits what we can put in here a bit, but not significantly at the moment. This cage is absolutely abominably useless. We'll never use that until the very end of the puzzle, is my prediction. Okay, let's look at this top. Oh, let's look at this top row of the grid. Yes. No. No. I was going to go, where does 1 go in it? Oh, yes, no, this is a valid question. That is exactly the right question. Well done, me. Well done, the latent subconscious part of my brain that got this. If you put a 1 here, the X sum clue up here, looking down here, would be counting the first 1 cell, which adds up to 1, and would need a 1 there, and that would be in the same cage. So that's impossible. And that applies in all of these cells as well. So the only place you can put a 1 is right there. And then, actually, that makes this X sum clue a 1. Now, this is valid because they're not in the same cage. It looks like the most hideous case of a repeated digit in a column ever. But actually, that's not in the column, and that is. Right. That's something. Now, down here, it's not that sort of a problem. You could put 1 in any one of those places. So that's all that gets me is a single 1. Now, hang on. One of these is a 9, isn't it? The 9 is going to have a clue of 45. Now, do you know the secret? You do now. That every row, column and box of a Sudoku adds up to 45. Because they all contain the digits 1 to 9 by rule. Those always add up to 45. And therefore, if we had a 9 here, we would have to have a 45 clue up here because it's adding the first 9 digits. They always add up to 45. And that means in one of these cages, oh, okay, now I've had a thought. My next thought is, how many of these are double-digit clues? They can't all be, because there aren't enough digits. No, especially in this box. This box is going to have 4 digits here. The maximum number of digits it can have up here, even including the 0, is 6. And that means that there can be a maximum of 2 double-digit clues, but there must be 2 single digit clues, at least. Now, how many single digit clues can we have on the top of the grid? The numbers, the X's that can begin single digit clues are only 1, 2 and 3. Because if you have a 4, the minimum 4 digits are 4, 3, 2, 1, they add up to 10. And that is a double digit clue. So 2 and 3 must both be in this box because we're going to have 2 single digit clues. Now I'm getting worried that I'm wrong because how do we have enough? Oh, this is a smaller cage. This is a 7-cell cage. Can all of these be doubles and all of these single digits? Yes, that is what is happening. So there are 2 double digit clues here. There are double digit clues in all of these. And there's another double digit clue here because only 2 of these can be single digit clues to allow 2 and 3 to be in this row. So, I mean, this is almost useless, but these must begin with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They all have double digit clues. Maybe I should use a colour for double digit clues. I don't know, this is probably going to disappear at some point. But let's say orange is a double digit clue and yellow is a single digit clue. And then up here, there's going to be 2 yellows and 2 oranges. Now, I don't think the same. Well, hang on. There's 2 digits there. There's 1 there. That's 3. So 7, we could have a maximum of 3 double digit clues here if we use the 0. 1, 2, 3. Ah, these can all be. No, okay. It doesn't work down the first column. I mean, it's not. I've deduced nothing, really. Yeah, the 2 and 3 are in the right place. They're going to have single digit clues, but they are likely to be 8 and 9 or some other quite high digits. Oh, hang on. What's the 3? Ah, maybe the 3 can't be in these cells. What three digits, including a 3, can you add together? Oh, you could add 3, 2, 4 here, and you'd have a 9 up here. Ah, I thought I could rule 3 out of those 2. I can't. Oh, this is going to be a double digit clue because that starts with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. That's not very interesting. Oh my goodness, am I ever going to make any other deductions in this puzzle? I feel like I could sit here for another 30 minutes and make no further progress. Right, these are double digit clues, and those are single digits. So all the digits get used in this box. They all get used in this one as well, in this cage, because with 2 single digit clues, 2 double digit clues, that's 6 digits up there and 4 here. So, no. Yes. So there's a 0 used up here. Oh, hang on. It feels like this is broken now. Oh, it's not broken. Okay, what are the tens digits of the 2 double digit clues up here? They do not begin with 2 or 3. One of them begins with 4. Now the other one begins with 1, which I thought was illegal at first because we've got a 1 in the row. This is not a row. That's not even in the puzzle, this bit. It's in the cages, but it's not in the puzzle. So one of these begins with a 4, and one of them begins with a 1. And one of those has a 0 as the units digit because we need to get a 0 in the cage. So it's either 10 or 40. Now, if it's so 1 and 4 are up here as tens digits, and 0 is up here as a units digit. So they're all used up here. Along with 3 other digits, and there's 2 other digits from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 used down here. Now, can we tell if it's 10 or if it's 40? 40 would require an x of 7 or 8. 10 would need 2, 3, or 4. Well, it can't have 4. So 10, if there was a 10, if the 0 is in a 10 clue, would either be 2, 8 or 3, 1, 6 or 3, 2, 5 or something. 40. Oh, I can't do that. 40 would start with a 7 here or an 8. If it started with a 7, the last 2 digits in the column would add up to 5. If it started with an 8, the last single digit would be a 5. And I don't know. Okay, so 1, 0, 2, 3, 4. The 2 single digits are at least 5, which is unsurprising. There's no 4 in those cells, but that could be a 4, so it doesn't have to be in these. There must be a 0 up here. We've learnt that, but I don't know. It can't be part of a 10 clue. Oh, the opening 3 digits then of these double 2-digit clues can't be 0 or 1, must be 2, 3 and 4. That's interesting. So the opening 3 right, so there's no 4 in those cells. There's no 4 in those cells. The 4 in the first row is there. I've got another digit in the grid. Now this 4 is going to add up something between 10 and 4 plus 9, 8, 7 is 28. Right. So the opening tens digits of these two, which are in the same cage, are a 1 and a 2. One of them is somewhere between 10 and 19. The other one is somewhere between 20 and 28. They can't actually be 21 or 12 or 11 or 22. And that's used up 1, 2 and 4 in the cage. So if one of these is a double digit, it must begin with a 3. Now, did I conclude earlier how many of these could be double digit clues? Yeah, again, we can use the same logic. 1, 2 and 3 can appear here, but 1 can't be any of those cells because that would put a 1 here in the cage that can't have a 1 here. And these X sums along here can't be anything between 10 and 29. So one of them can be something from 30 to 39, and the others have to be single-digit clues, or maybe all 3 are single-digit clues, but that would require these to be, right, 2 and 3 have to be in these cells. We can't have a 1 here. We worked that out. That can't be the X for a single-digit clue that's here, because that would need a 1 here, and that's not allowed in this cage anymore. Therefore, it's so clever, this. Therefore, one of the 2 and 3 are the only beginning numbers here that can lead to single-digit clues. We're getting a really interesting impossibility there, but that's fine for now. 2, 3, and a bigger number, and the bigger number is going to have a 3 in one of these cells as its tens digit. Gosh, this is a crazy puzzle. Now, at least one of those is 2 or 3. Is it true to say that at least one of these is 2 or 3? Now, I'm wondering about that because otherwise you'd put both 2 and 3 here. And if you did that, the 3 would have to have at least 3, 4, 5 as its total, and it wouldn't be single digit. So that doesn't work. So one of these is 2 or 3, and one of these is 2 or 3, and this cell is definitely 2 or 3. And this is a single digit clue, and it's not the thing that begins with 30 something. So up here, one of these is 2 or 3, because it can't be more than 1, because one of 2 or 3 goes in there. Wow! So exactly one of those is 2 or 3, exactly one of these is 2 or 3. And the other one up here is a 2-digit number beginning with a 1, or a 4, and the other one is over here. Oh my goodness, this is so confusing now. Now, I did work out the only way for one of these to be a 3 is if we have a 9 up here and a 3, 2, 4 triple starting, or 3, 4, 2 starting the column. That's the only way one of those can be a 3. I wish I could rule that out. And I can't, which is irritating. These are 30 something. This begins with 2 or 3. We don't know really anything else about. We do know that 2 and 3. Yeah, that's single digit, which I was going to colour yellow. These two are going to be double digit clues because the X sum digit here can't be 1. It's in the same cage as its clue. And it can't be 2 or 3, which are up there in the column. So it's got to be at least a 5. That gives you a 2-digit clue here. But unfortunately, we're back in the land of freedom as regards what the 2-digit clues begin with in this box. And this one, now it's worth asking where 1 goes in this column. We have actually worked out it's not in any of those. It can't be in those. It's somewhere down. It can't be in that one because that would put a 1 here. So it's in one of those 2 cells. It could be there if that was a 1 as well. I can't rule that out, but I'll take any little deduction in this puzzle. I think I'm going to be here a long time making tiny deductions. And frankly, that would be better than being here not making any. So I'll take it. Now, these 2 or 3 cells add to a single digit number that goes here, which is not 1, 2, 3, or 4. Oh, how many digits are there in this box? 2, 4, 5. 2 in the 30-something number, and then 1 and 1. So it's actually 9. There is a digit missing from this box. That's a shame. If it used them all, you'd know that the clue here was 30. Oh, that is a shame. Right. So there's 1 of 2 or 3 there, 1 of 2 or 3 there. 1 has to be somewhere in these cells. And it can't be next to a 2, because that would give a clue of 3, which is impossible in all of these places, because the 3 here is used in a 30 number, and the 3 in this cage is used as an X. I was just going to wonder if the 1 couldn't be in any of these cells, because it would then be next to a 3 if it can't be next to a 2. But that's okay, because it could be 3, 1, 5. In fact, it would have to be giving a 9 opposite it. But of course, the 1 can be here, and then it can be parallel with a 2 or a 3. I don't know. Okay. I'm not getting anything else there now as far as I can see. So, what else is going on? What about this? This is not 1, 2, 3, or 4. So these are going to be double-digit numbers. That's all I've got there. It does. I was going to say, does it help that they have to begin with different digits? It really doesn't. I mean, those digits could be anything at the moment. So, 9 in this column. Where does 9 go? 9 does not go in any of these cells, because that would put 45 here, and we can't use a 4 in that cage. 9 in any of these cells would put 45 in its X sum clue. 9 can't be here, because 45 would have to be in both X sum clues. So 9's in one of those 4 places. And is there a reason we can't put 45 in an X sum clue in this cage? I doubt that there is, unfortunately. What about 9 up here? It feels like 9's interesting. It really does. Actually, I'm just going to have a very quick look at this. Now, the trouble is that doesn't have to have a single digit clue and thus be 2 or 3, which it would be if it had a single digit clue, and that would be a pair in the row, but it could be a clue ending in 0. Bother. Right, let's go back up top then. 9. There's no other digits that are really interesting. I suppose the 5 is going to... The 4, no, we know... Ah, yes, this 4, looking down this way, is going to include 2 and 3 in its sum. So it can't get above a total of... it can't get above a total of 18. In fact, it can't even use the 9. So 4, 2, 3, 8, 17. So that begins with a 1, this 2-digit number. This 2-digit number begins with a 2. And we're going to have to get this total up to over 20. And therefore we can't use both the 2 and the 3. So that becomes 1 of 2 or 3. And we know there's only 1 in these 2 cells, because there's 1 in these 2 cells. So that is a 2 or a 3 with a single-digit clue. This is a double-digit clue. 1 and 4 is not in... No, hang on. Yes, in the single-digit clues, they're not using 0, 1 or 4, because 0 is a units digit, and 1 and 4 are tens digits. Now, here we are adding 4 and either 2 or 3, and then 2 big numbers to get to at least... Whoa, to get to what? We can't... Oh, we can't get to 21, 22, 23 or 24 because that would repeat a digit. 25 would require 4 and 3 and 2 9s, which is illegal. And I thought we were broken for a second, but we're not, because this is 20. That's the definite X sum there. That's only the second definite X sum after that 1 that I've achieved. This is 20. Exactly. Now, if it was 4 and 2, the other cells are 9 and 7. And that's impossible. That is impossible because one of the bigger numbers has an X sum clue beginning with a 1, and 7 and 9 can't. The minimum X sum clue for 7 is 28. Oh, I'm worried that we're too high. So it's not 4, 2, 7, 9. So it's 4, 3... plus a 9 gives you 16. And that would need another 4. Oh, I'm totally lost. What have I done wrong now? One of these has to begin with a 1, doesn't it? The 2 and 3 are down here. They're X's. 2 of these begin with tens digits. They must be 1 and 4. So one of these begins with a tens digit of 1. Oh, have I gone... No, this is okay. Yes. 4, 3, 5, 8 feels like it works. Why couldn't I do that in my head? 4 and 3 is 7. 4 and 2, I think I did the maths wrong. 4 and 2 is 6. You'd have to add 14. You'd have to add 5 and 9. Okay, bother. I did the maths wrong, but at least I'm still alive. But it does mean I don't know whether this is 2 or 3, which I thought I did a moment ago. If the 2 is the small digit here, with the big clue, then the other 2 digits add up to 14. They are 5 and 9 or 6 and 8. The one that begins with a 1 would have to be, it would have to be a 5. A 6x would lead to a x sum of at least 21. 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. So, in fact, 5 is the number. One of these there is a 5 in one of these cells. Definitely. So they're either 4259 or 4358. Intriguing. Okay. And that means 7 and 6 are definitely over here. And I don't know. Oh, yeah, no, that does mean that 2 of these at least. Oh, these do begin with 20, 30, and 40 something. Okay, that doesn't help. Now, 5 is in one of these cells. Have we discovered that? Yes, we have. 5 is in one of these cells, therefore none of these are 45, therefore none of these are 9. Oh, yes, so this is, that's fantastic. So this is 428, hang on, this doesn't, no, 4385. That does add up to 20. Yes, there's no 2 in those cells. So this is a 2. Ha! 3, 5 and 8. Right, this is 5 or 8. The 5 clue here has a sum of 1 something, not 10, because the minimum a 5 clue can add up to is 15. Therefore the 0 goes with a 4, and one of these clues is a 40 with an 8 in one of those cells and a 5, therefore at the bottom after the X has been added up. Wow, I'm so slow at this, but I don't care. I'm getting there, and that is all that matters to me. Right. Now, 3 is in one of those cells, so it's not in one of these cells. So it's here. And one of these is a 2. It doesn't really tell me what this adds up to, does it? No, this has got, well, mind you, it can't now be 10, 11, 12, 13 or 14. It's somewhere between 15 and 19. But it includes 4, 3 and 2. So the other digit it includes, which can't be a 9, is 6, 7 or 8. And the total is either 15, 16 or 17. Okay. Probably can't do much else with that now. The 30-something clue begins with 6, 7 or 8, and unfortunately that's not resolvable. The 40-something clue begins with an 8. Oh, it could be here. Bother, yes. The 10-something clue, now hang on. The clue between 10 and 19 up here. Now, 2, 3, 5, 8 are there. The numbers up here are 0, 1, 4, 6, 7, 9. So we have 40 as one number. The 3, what is that going to give? The 3 is in one of these cells. And it can't use 4 or 2 in its sum. It's going to have to be 3, 1, 5, and it's going to give a 9 in one of those two. So 9 is not in these cells. So 9 is a single digit clue in one of these, and 3, 1, 5 are running down from it. So 5 is in this box, but it's below the 3, so it's not up here. So neither of those are a 5. This is a 5. That gets the 1 something clue, which isn't 10. It can't be 14 either. It's either 16 or 17. 16 or 17 for the 5 clue there. I'm just going to highlight the digits. Oh, it can't be 16 because that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. That's fantastic. It's 17. I've done another X sum clue. 17. So these are 1, 2, 3 and 6. Oh, well, 3, 6 pair there. 2, 1 in the useless cage. Oh my goodness. And we've used up 1 and 7. So I'm taking those out of these cells. Now, that isn't the 40 clue. It is that can't be a 0. And it can't use the 4. Why have I concluded it can't be 9 up here? I don't know. Maybe I haven't concluded that. Maybe that was a mistake. I think this X sum clue is not 0. It's a single digit. It's not 4 because that would be 2, 2. It's either 6 or 9. And this digit is either 4 or 7 to make that add up. Now, these clues begin with a 3. Oh, because 9 is over here. 3, 1, 5 in one of these pairs. So, that is not 9. That is 6. This is a 4. I've done a whole X. I've done the whole clue plus the X sum there. Oh, my goodness. Right. One of these. So what have we got? We're no 6 anymore. So 40 and 9 are the two clues here. The 40 starts with an 8 and ends with a 5, which is now not here. The 9 starts with a 3 and is either 315 or 351. Now, we've got an 8 in one of those cells, so we don't have an 8 here. This doesn't add up to 17. It's 15 or 16. The 3 we're going to have a 1-5 with. Say that was here. I don't think that helps. Well, 315, yes, that also pushes the 5 under the 40. Look, these cells are 7, 8, and 9 in some order. I'm going to mark that because I haven't found much else to mark. Yeah, I'm going to remove the corner marks. These two, one of them is 40 and one of them is 9. I'm just going to part colour the boxes so I sort of remember that that's going on here. Actually, maybe I'll put the 4 up there because that's where it's going to end up as a digit to represent the 40 clue. And the 3, now how am I going to remember that the 3 goes with a 1-5 pair beneath it in some order? I don't know. Now, what have we got going on? So this clue was, it's either 15 being 4 and a 2-6 pair and a 3. 2 and... So the 30-something clue begins with a 6 or a 7. And what have we used? We've used 5 or 6 there. We've used 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Oh, what's this? 3 cells here to add up. It can't be 3, 1, 2 because of that clue. So this, it can't be 7 because 3 digits can't add up to 7 including a 3. So that is 8 or 9. And here we either have 1, 4, 1, 5 or 2, 4. And 1, 2 are a virtual pair. In those cells, 3's been used here. The lowest number this can be is a 4. And this has to be a 2-digit clue, and therefore, as the 10th digit in the cage, has to end in a 0. How peculiar. Right. I was wondering, does that let us calculate the outies and so rule out 40 and 30 and 20 and 10? I don't think it does at all. Never mind about that. What can we do next? Oh, come on. Right. I don't know. This cage is sort of beginning to beckon, but I'm very scared of it. 4, 3, 2 and 9. Oh, and 1 have all been used. So, and this can't be a 5 because there's a 5 in one of those. Right. This digit is 6, 7 or 8. I haven't thought about this at all. If it's 6, the total in this column is 45 minus 4, 2, and either 6 or 7. So if that's a 6, the total is 33, impossible, or 34, possible. If it's a 7, we're subtracting those two from 45. I mean, it gives us 30 something. But if it's an 8, we're just subtracting that and we get 41. I mean, that's useless. If this begins with 6, 7 or 8, I don't know. This begins with 20, 30 or 40. That's not doing anything. Can I rule out 8? If I could, then I've got a 2, 6, 7 triple. Right, if it was 8, this would be 41. Now, that would put 41 here. This would have to begin with 30. And that would mean this would have to be 9 or 6. I think that can be 8. That's very annoying. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. The only digits available to begin these cells are 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 would lead to a 45. 8 would lead to a 30 or 40 number. 7 could just be a 20 number. It's not any use, is it? Nine up here gives a 315. The 40 gives an 8. Nine has to be, oh, these don't have 8 or 5 in. Ah, I'd forgotten this stuff. Right, sorry. 6, 7, 9 are a triple here. Now, one of them has to begin with a 20 something and one of them has to end in a 0. The 9 is going to give a 45, of course. So one of these cells contains 45. Neither of them can contain 20. So one of them contains 30 and the other one contains 28. Now, how do I mark those? 28, 30 and 45. Oh, 30 is even the wrong way around. That's so annoying. Right, this is just my little aide-memoire for what these clues are. One of them is 28. And that could be the one that begins with a 7, although it's more likely to be the one that begins with a 6. One of them is 30, and the 45 begins with a 9. Oh, bother. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll try and remember that. I don't like having them in these clues over here, so let's get rid of all that stuff, right? In these cells. Now, do I have any clues which way round they go? The 30 or 28. Oh, the one that uses a 6. No, the one that uses a 7 only adds up to 30 or 28. If it's a 28 on a 7, that's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and needs an 8, 9 pair at the bottom of the column. If it's 7 with a 30 clue, that leaves a total of 15 at the bottom, which would be a 6, 9 pair. So whichever one has the 7 has either 9, 6 or 9, 8 as a pair below. Whichever one has the 6 clue and adds up to 28 or 30 is less constrained. It doesn't feel like the place I'm going to break into the rest of the puzzle at all. There's no chance this useless cage is actually useful, is there? Since those digits can't be 1 or 2, one of 1 or 2 is there, but the other one is going to have to be here. I don't think that's useful. It feels like it could be, but I don't think it is. I don't see how to use it if it is. Can I do any more with this 8 or 9? If it's 8, it has to be 3, 1, 4. Then you get a 2 here. Oh, okay. Whichever one of 1 or 2 gets used there is also here. No, again, I was thinking that meant this digit has to be there, but it doesn't. It can be here. Okay, come on. Done this 6. We've got no clues looking up apart from in the first column. Right, can I do these any more thoroughly? Yes, no, 30 something. Ooh, okay, 6, 7, 9 have been used there. So the maximum for these 3 outies, is that interesting? No, it's not. This 30 clue is not going to be 30, 31, 32, 33 or 34. It's somewhere between 35 and 39 for 6 or 7 cells. It's going to use no, it's not going to use a 6 here. Oh, bother. 6 or 7, I don't know. Okay, one of them is, oh, do excuse me for a second. In exciting family news, I've just taken delivery of a Christmas tree. Hurrah! Now, where was I? Will that help or will it hinder? Okay, we got that. Oh, look. Is this right? I think this might be right. I don't think it helps. Oh, bother. What I was going to say is, haven't I got a 5 X-wing between those 2 cells and these 2? These 4? I think I do, because one of these is 315. Well, I mean, the pencil marking proves that. So none of these cells can contain a 5. Now, I thought that was going to tell me exactly what this total was, but it doesn't. It just tells me there's a 4 in it, which is a shame. It's either 8 or 9, and there is a 5 in one of these 2 cells. Definitely. Which means its X sum clue begins with a 1 or a 2 or a 3. I don't think it can be a 3, oddly, but it doesn't really matter at the moment. But this is now a 1, 2, 4 triple, so that can't be a 4. Ah, so if this was a 5, we're subtracting 10 from 35, it would add up to 35, which doesn't end in a 0. That is not a 5. It's not a 9, and it hasn't been a 9 since we had a definite 0 in there, because it would add up to 45. It's not an 8, because that would now add up to 42. It can be a 7 if that's a 2, and then that's a 40. Can it be 6? Only if these can add up to a number ending in 5, and they can't. Wow, that is a 7. This is a 2. That's very helpful. This is a 4, that's a 1, that's a 2. This is 9 because it's adding 3, 2 and 4. This is 40. And there is no 4 in these cells because it's in this one in the cage, and therefore there's a 4 right here. And that's not 7. Ooh, and do we know if this is 28, 30 or 45? It can certainly be 45. Now, if it's 28, it's with a 6. And then the last, okay, so if that's a 6, it's either 28 or 30. And these last 3 cells add up to 15 or 17, not including 6, 4 or 7. I mean, there must be ways of doing that, unfortunately. I'm pencil mark enough to put 5, 6, 8 and 9 in that group of cells just because they're established. Now, 3, 2, 4, where does 1 go in this box? In one of those 2 cells. And there's a 1 here and a 1 here. Yes! So this cage really has been helpful. I condemned it as useless, but now I know there's a 1 in one of these 2 cells, and I know the 1 goes with a 5 under a 3, which is here, with a 9 clue whose colour is yellow. That one is orange and is 40, and this is an 8, and this is a 5 as a result of that. A 5, I said. There we go. Ha! And what else? 4, 8, 3, 1, 5, 9, along with 6 or 7 here. I mean, that clue's done. There's no point adding these 8. I know they will add it to 40. This one is done. This one is done. All of these clues at the top. Not this one yet. Adding those 4. This one's done. Ah, are these more tractable now? Ooh, if that was a 6, then, oh, look, if that's a 6, it's adding 6, 7, 8, 9. Sort of interesting. That's 30. Plus 3 is 33. 34 or 38. That would have to be 38. It's not allowed to be 34. So this could be 38. Using 6, 7, 8, 9, 3 and 5, and that would be a 1, 2 pair. Now, well, but that's with a 6. Why did I postulate a 6 particularly? I don't know. Well, if that's a 7, that's an 8, 9 pair, and that's a 6, and that's a 3. It's sort of the same thing, although we're going to add one more cell. We're already up to 33. Yeah, we could, well, no, I don't know. I think there are possibilities, and I don't think this one's resolved either, and that is a shame. These rows, they're trying to be helpful, I feel, and I'm not quite using them enough somehow. Oh, what about this sum now? 41 if that's an 8. Oh no, this hasn't changed at all. Oh wait, if that's a 7, that takes 7 out of these cells. I didn't think of it like this. Right, then they're 2 and 6. So if that's a 7, this is either 35 or 39. Oh, that's too many possibilities. If that's a 6, this is 274, which is 15. Then this is 30. And all of these possibilities are live. That's really annoying. Oh, hang on. 7 is in this cage, so can't appear in those cells. Oh, I was going to say, so there's a 7 somewhere here, but actually it could be there. No, that doesn't do anything. 4 is there. These 2 digits are those 2 digits by the law of leftovers, which I was not expecting to be considering today. Is this done? The column must be done in some way. Must be better done than I'm achieving. Oh, there's a 5 in one of these cells, so there can't be a 9 in one of them, because that would put another 5 in the cage in a 45 clue. My goodness. So 9 is definitely down here along with 1. That is a 1-9 pair. There's no 9 in these cells. Oh, okay, so that's an interesting deduction. Now, these have to begin with 5, 6, 7 or 8, but that's not telling me a lot about what the tens digits are. Is it? If I could rule that out from being an 8, this would be a 5-8 pair. I don't know. I think I've tried that before. For this to be an 8, it's 41 here, 30 something here, and that's quite big, and that's all I know. And that is not actual information. That's just stuff. 4, 7, 8, and 9 in those cells. 2. Oh. Right. There's something I hadn't noticed. 9. Well, I don't think it's going to help. Sorry. 9 is there. 9 is definitely in one of those 2 cells. So 9 is in this cage. I mean, the cage is telling me nothing. Well, it's not telling me a total. That's what it's not telling me. Silent about its total. Oh, right. Now, we'll have maybe another think about this 6, 7, 9 group, which add up to 28, 30, and 45. I don't know how to use that at all. If this wasn't a 9, it would be a 6, adding up to 28 or 30. With those cells, definitely putting a 6 in one of those 2. I don't know, this cage. Oh, look, this cell. Right. This isn't a 45 either, because we still can't have 5 in this cage. So that's a 1, adding a 1 there. Now we can't have a 1 in the cage. We have placed the 1. One of these three is a 1, and that's useless, but we've placed a 1 here. Now, these double-digit clues can't begin with a 1, so they're 20, 30, or 40-something. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 9. This cell is 5, 6, or 7 again, but it can't be 5. Now I've got a 6, 7, 9 triple. Is that definitely right? Yes, this is a 3, 4 pair that I hadn't noticed. It is definitely right. These are from 2, 6, 7, 8. Is that of any interest here? One of those is a 5. Ah, did I work out, as I think I did, that a 5x cannot have a 30-something clue? I thought that was because 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 add up to 35. But use the 5. So in this case, they couldn't have a 35 clue. But hang on, 5, 4, 7, 8, 9 add up to 33. I don't think that conclusion is right. It was a sort of conclusion I reached, but it's bogus. We can get to 30, or 30 in fact would do here, wouldn't it? Oh, edging closer still, but not actually getting to anything. I mean, these rows are so annoying. But I mean, I am dimly beginning to see how this puzzle will solve in a way, but it is an extraordinary achievement. It really is, that this exists with no digits given. Now, oh, 2 here. Oh my goodness, the 2 in one of these cells is adding either now 2, 6 or 2, 7. It can't be adding 2, 9, that makes 11. It can't be adding 2, 7. It's adding 2, 6. So one of these is a 6, and we know the other one is a 9, so that is a 6, 9 pair. There's no 6 in these cells. One of these is an 8, and the other one is making 30 something with a 7 start. Now, 2, 6 could be there, or it could be there. The other one starts 7, 9, and that can't be in this row because that would kill those cells. That's brilliant. So this is where the 2, 6 goes. Lovely, lovely, lovely. 7, 9. So this is the 8 clue, and is yellow. This one is orange and is 30, not 8, but 30. Oh, well, we know what this is now. This now adds up to 11, 13, 16. So the numbers used in the cage are 1, 6, 4, 2, 0, 8, 9. So this is either 35 or 37. And the outies, these last 2 digits, therefore add up to either 10 or 8. And I thought that wasn't a problem because they were going to be low. But 10 would have to be an 8-2 pair, and 8 would have to be a 5-3 pair. That is really weird and annoying that both of those are still possible. That's either an 8-2 pair or a 5-3 pair. Ah, 7 and 9 are looking at that cell. That's an 8. It's now not an 8-2 pair. There we go. That's a 3-5 pair. The rest of this row adds up to 37. We've done that clue. 6, 3 are resolved. Oh yeah, they can't have an 8 in there. 7 and 9. 2, 6. So that 1, 5, they're resolved by this 3, 5 pair. And now I have made progress in the top 3 rows. Oh, it feels like such a relief. Right. Wow. Okay. I don't know. I feel like taking a breather, but that's not what you guys want. So, no 8 in this column. Nothing much has changed down here. Now, something that's changed is the law of leftovers. So these digits are going to appear in those 2 cells. A 6, 9 in one of them, and a 3 or 5 in the other, or not a 5, because that's not going to work in these 2 cells, because that's the only digit we've got in the bottom row. Therefore, that is not a 5. because whatever this is must appear in those two. That's a 3. One of these is a 3. Now the other one appears here as well. Ooh, wasn't there a problem? Ah, in fact, look, this cell, yes, can't be a 7 anymore. It's either a 6, in which case we're adding those, which are 45 minus 13 is 32 is one possibility. Is that right? I just want to do that the other way around to make sure I'm doing the maths right. 9, 1, 3, 6, 8, 5. I think that is 32. Yeah, so if it's a 6, it's giving a 32 total. If it's an 8, it's giving 41. It could be either 32 or 41. Now, if it's an 8, and that's 41, this has to be 30 something. And that means these 8 add up to 30 something. That can't be 38. So they must be 36 with a 9 here. Or 39 with a 6 here. Or 37 with an 8 here. They're all possible. I thought we were going to rule them out. Oh, that's become a 7. Hadn't seen that. That's just boring Sudoku. Now, those are from 5, 6, and 8. One of them is a 5. One of them is 6 or 8. 3, 2, 4, 7, 1. Okay. We can't begin with a 1. I don't think this is a huge issue, unfortunately. The 5 is probably going to begin with 20 something. Although I can't even prove that. And the, oh well, if it's an 8, yeah, it's fine. It can begin with 30 or 40 something. Oh, good grief. That's been done. Oh, I could colour it. I can colour that. I've coloured all the perimeter cells. What I should really do now is recolour or add to their colour when I have solved them for definite. And that would include lots of them, actually, when I've sort of actually filled them all in, all of those, and indeed that one. So they're all definitely solved. So I'm just left with 7 double-digit clues to actually figure out. Now, what's happened up here? Nothing. Nothing of note. 6. Ah, here's a thought. Here's an interesting way of working on this. The totals here are 28, 30 and 45. Let's add them all up. Let's add them all up and get to 103. 45 plus 30 is 75, plus 28 is 103. Now the total of these 3 columns, 45 times 3 is 135. So the total missing from those sums, which is 3 cells in one of these columns and 2 cells in another, I don't know which columns of these 3, is 32. Could be 98753. That's, I don't know, I thought that was going to be really interesting, and it's not. Unless I'm missing it. That 32 cannot include a 1. So wherever the 1 goes in this area is in the counted area, is in the 9 column. That's really interesting. I mean, it's very interesting that the 9 is sitting above a 1 down here, but I don't know how I can actually use it. Oh, 5. 5 has to be in one of these cells in this cage. Is that any interest? I don't think so. So this was 3 and that digit. So these are from 3, 6 and 9. I should have marked that when I worked it out. That 32 thing means that the other 4 cells, which could be 1 in any one of these 3 columns and 3 in any one of them, but they add up to 13. They include a 1, obviously. I don't know how that helps me. I feel like I'm on the cusp of a deduction there without quite being able to make it. What is going on here? 3, 4, 7. Oh, can I rule on which one of these is a 7? I don't think I can. This is so frustrating. This is 32 or 41, depending on whether that's a 6 or an 8. So if that's a 6, which pushes a 6 into one of these cells, that makes this an 8. You get 41 here and 30 something here. And if that's a 6, and that's an 8, this is going to have to be a 9. And that's quite interesting in a way, because it means if that's a 9, there is a 9 in one of those two by the leftovers theory. But if that's a 6, because this then can't be 6, 7 or 8, it becomes a 9. Which is quite weird, because that's by virtue of the 8 here having a 30-something clue. But that means that 9 is definitely in one of these 3 cells. Oh, I was about to say that means 9 isn't in any of these and must be here, but that's not quite true, because 9 could be here. In this column, 9 is at either the top or the bottom. But anyway, there's a 9 in one of those 3, and this can't be 9, and that's all I got from that in the end. One of those 2 is 9 in column 4. Bother. Oh, is there something easy going on? I don't think there is. I really don't. 5, so 3 is there. Where's the 1 in the bottom column? Could be there, or it could be in the corner. What is in the corner? 9 seems possible. But what if this isn't 8? Right, if this isn't 8, it's a 6, and that's a 3-9 pair. And we've got 32 here, have we? Oh, that's getting quite interesting. 6 might be impossible. If that's a 6, 11, 9, 13, yes, this is 32. Now this can't begin with a 3 or a 2. That's not possible. Why didn't I see that? If this is 6, then these can't add up to 40 anything or anything less than 20. 6 is not possible there. Good grief. 8 is possible, and that's going to get us some way. This is now 41. This begins with a 3. I think we've worked out, haven't we? Oh no, it was dependent on what that was. So no, we haven't. But it's 45 minus that cell to give 30, not 38, not 34. Well, it can only be 36, 7 or 9. Leaving this to be 6, 9. Oh, this can't be 7 or 8. So that is a 6, 9 pair, which is not relevant because one of them is not in the grid. But this is now a 3, 6, 9 triple, and that's a 6, 9 pair. And surely something is going to happen for me now. 1, 2, 5 and 8. They can't be 1s. That can't be a 2. 3, 6, 9 triple. This can't be a 6 or an 8. That can't be an 8. This is 1 or 7. That's 2, 4 or 7. The only place for a 1 in the bottom row is here. Now, 1 was going to be in the total of 13. That is 3 of these cells. What was it? 32 was 3 and 2 of the outies. So 13 is, it could still be 6, 1 and 2 there. And 4 up here. Oh, bother. 4 is in one of those two cells, so it's not in those, in that box. 8 is not in those cells. That's a 2, 6, 7 triple. We've got 9 and 8 in that cage. 8 is not here. I should have been able to see that earlier. Right, so the X's here are a 5 and a 6. And the numbers they're going to add, surely they're going to begin 20-something and 30-something. Yes, they are. They can't begin 40-something. The 6 can't get there. So we have a 2 and a 3 as the tens digits in these cells. This is known. That 41 is done. This is not 36 or 39, depending on what that is. Okay, let's just go here again. 20-something and 30-something. This minimum is 12, 22, and those two, which would have to be 3 and 4. Wow, this could only just begin with 20-something. If that was a 3, 4, and this was 29, 5, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 1, 6, 9, 5, 8, 2, 3, 4, that does just work. What about this being 20-something? Actually, that's bigger than that, so I think this is even more constrained. 5, 6, 14, 18 at the minimum. Hey, 3 and 4 pair. Maybe I did the maths wrong in the row above. A 3 and 4 pair only takes us up to 25. Five, 1, 8, 4 is 18. And at least, well, it couldn't be 3 and 4 anymore, actually. With a 5 and a 4 there, it could be 3 and 6, and that gets us to 27. No, I don't see that. I didn't think these clues were going to be resolvable yet, and I still don't think they are. But it's only those and this and these that I have left to really figure out. Come on, 6, 7, 9, 3, 6, 9. Is that more useful? These are from 2, 4, 5, 8, 7. It's not that useful. It'd be quite useful to know what that is, and I don't at all. 6, 2, 4. That can't be a 6 anymore. Oh, this... No, that 6 is the X sums clue. We've done that. I've marked it in green. I've done it. Stop thinking about it now. 1, 2, 5, 8. 6, 9 pair at the top and bottom. Oh, come on. Why can't I know whether that's 36 or 39? It's not much to ask, is it? It's a 6 in one of those cells. 2, 4, 7, 8, 9. I don't know what's happening there either. Nine has to be in one of those 3. That just doesn't seem interesting. Okay, I'm going to have to go back to these 20-something and 30-something. Now, what was I coming to here? I thought maybe I was adding the maxima. 6, 7, 9, and 2. Maybe that's what I was doing, which is probably quite sensible. 24. Yeah, can this be the 20 clue? Well, there's no point assessing that with the 6. That's the problem, because the 20 clue probably goes with the 5. 5, 12, 19. You see, that is interesting. The clue that has the 5 5, 12, 20, 22. Or if we're counting down here, oh, it's the difference between that 7 and the 1. That's what's been throwing me. Right, so can this be the 20 clue? 5, 7, 8 and 2 is 22 already. The minimum digit here is a 3. Now, the 20 clue can't be 25, 6 or 7. So the 20 clue is either 28 or 29. The 30 clue could be 30, 34, 38 or 39. But it's 6 digits. Probably. So 6 of one and 5 of the other adds up to whatever I don't know, it's just so variable. I was thinking of adding the remaining outies, but I don't know what these actual x's are. I don't know which of these are x's, and I don't know what these x sums are, and there is a little bit of variability, especially given that one of them can end in 0. There's just too much to really focus on that, I believe. Now, come on, Mark. Come on. There's a way to make some progress here. What is it? There's all sorts of 3 X-wings, but oh, that's become a 5. Why have I never written that in? Is that helpful? That better not suddenly be helpful because I've just been missing it. That would be very embarrassing. I don't think it is. 28 and 30. Now, 4 digits down here. 1 from this column, 1 from this row, and then a column we're going to add to 13. I just don't think this is enough information. They could be 1, 2, 3, 7. Let's just calculate the 13 possibilities. 1, 2, 3, 7. 1, 2, 4, 6 and 1, 3, 4, 5. Those are the ways to make it up. So 2 of these digits are included in that 13 sum, not the 8. 1, 2, 4, 6 or 1, 3, 4, 5 or 1, 2, 3, 7. No, I don't think that is the way to attack this. It's very close to giving something interesting, but it doesn't quite do it. Now I am sweating a bit because I don't see how to do anything at this point. Oh, I mean, I want to use that 6-9 pair, but I cannot. This is a 3-6-9 triple. 1 is in one of these 3 cells. And wherever it is, it's getting used in that 13 sum, because all of those 13 possibilities use the 1. So it's below, it's not above the 9. Not directly above the 9, anyway. So if this was a 1, it would have to be 6, 2. 9 would be here. And then the 4 would be in one of these places underneath, what is it, the 7 that would include the 4. This might be the only way through. I mean, it is so frustrating that you can get this far and still get utterly stuck. You guys are probably seeing what I should do here. That's just not resolvable till we know what that is. I don't see any way of doing it. One of these is a 7. Is that? How is that interesting? It means it doesn't have the 7 down here. Ah, yeah, that is interesting, isn't it? Whichever one has the 7, it's not. It's nearly interesting. It's nearly interesting. because it nearly means that the 7 can't be counted in the 13 sum. Yeah, whichever one has the 6. I don't know, does have the 7 below it? I don't even know if that's right. The 9 might have the 7 below it. Oh, gosh. Maybe this can't be a 6. That would be interesting. 6, 10, 13, 20. Now we're adding up to 28 or 30. Can these two add up to 6, 10, 20, 8 or 10? They cannot add up to 8. But they can add up to 10 in one way. But that way doesn't work. That's quite interesting. If this was a 6, these add up to 20. The sum has to be 28 or 30. These can't add up to 8, so they must add up to 10 with a 6 under a 30 sum. Now, if they did that, there'd be 2, 8. You'd have 5, 1, 9 underneath them. Now, that is sudokuli possible, but the outies would add up to 15. And we want the outies that aren't included in the sums up here to add up to only 13. So that would break. Wow, so that's the 9. There we go. I'm doing that. This is 45. That's a 6. This is dealt with now. That is a 39 sum. That's fine. These don't have a 6. They're a 3-9 pair. These don't have a 9. They're a 6-7 pair. And these are going to be 28 and 30. Now, the outies that add up to 13 include all of these. They can't be 6, 5, 1. They have to be 6, 2, 1. So they're done. The other outie is a 4 in one of those two cells. And therefore, that's not a 4. That's a 3. This also isn't a 2. Now we'll demonstrate the addition again once I've finished it, just to explain. 6, 2, 1, 3, 9, that's not a 2, obviously. These are, well, in fact, that isn't a 5 either, or a 4. That's 7 or 8, which is a wicked little pair, making that not a 7. This is 5, 7 or 8. Now, 6, 1, 2. So the 4 is sitting under the 7 up here. With which clue, actually? With which clue? If those add up to 13, okay, the 4 is sitting under the 7, but with, I don't know whether it's with the 28 or the 30, but whichever it is, the cells beneath them either add up to 17, so the cells beneath the 4 add up to 17 or 15. Now, both of these pairs could add up to 17 by being 8, 9, but I don't think either can add up to 15. Therefore, the 7 is getting the 28 clue, weirdly, and the 6 is getting the 30 clue. Now, does that help do anything with it? The 6 getting the 30 clue is going to have 15 below it. So there's a 4, 8, 9 down in one of these, and the other one is a 3, 5, 7 triple. Under the 6. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. The trouble is, I don't know what to do with that. Now, 2 is there, so I've placed 2 in this row, which I had not seen. There's 2. That doesn't really do anything. Places 2 in one of those 2 cells, which is an X-wing with those. That's now the 7, 8 pair. Look, they're acting on this cell. This has become a 5. And therefore, that's not where 489 goes. It goes down here. Yes. This is the 7. That's the 6. The 7 is in the 28 clues. So let's get rid of the 3 and the 0 and the 2 and the 8 out of there. This is the 30 clue. Look, these are all done. I can green them. That's done. It's just these two left to do. Anyway, and this will work. And now I hopefully can finish most of these columns and then show you how it works. That's a 6. That's a 3. 6, 3, 2, 7, 6, 2, 8. Oh, that's a 3. This isn't 6 or 8. Or 5, weirdly. Is that right? 6, 2, 8, 5, 3, 1, 4, 7. It's a naked single. It is right. 6, 2, 8, 9. This is naked in the box. 7, 5, 3, 1 and 4 go there. And this 5, 8 pair is unresolved, but I can be sanguine about that. Now, I'm just going to demonstrate the totals, which were the first 6 cells here, which 6, 2, 8, 9, 1, 4, you will notice that they do add up to 30. There's 3 pairs of 10 there. First 7 cells here add up to 28, because they don't include the 8, 9 out of 45. And of course, all these 9 cells add up to 45. The totals of those 3 additions, 45 plus 28 plus 30, is 103. We knew that the totals of the column, of the 3 columns, was going to be 45 times 3, which is 135. The difference is the 32 that has ended up in these cells. 9, 8, 7, 5 and 3 make 32. And that was how I was getting that done as we went along. I tried to explain it at the beginning. I'm sorry, there is a very realistic chance that it wasn't very clear. And that is all pilot error. Anyway, there's no 4 there. There's a 7, 8, 9 triple. There's a 4 here. This is not a 4. This is 2 or 7. That's not a 7. This isn't a 7. That's done this triple. That is not an 8. That is 7. This is a 3, 6 pair. I nearly used that 6 to determine them, which would be absolutely bogus. 1, 8, 2, I don't know. Now I'm going to have to finally do these rows 5 and 6. But you can see that I am now a believer in this puzzle and how it will finish. Oh, that's not a 7. Oh, look, we've got an 8, 9 pair. Maybe I don't have to do these rows by maths, but I can do them by Sudoku instead. That would be lovely for me. 8 there, yes. They're all fixed suddenly. 8, that's not an 8. Now it's just columns 5 and 6, and I still get these clues to use. Look, 5, 7, 9 and 2, 12, 21, 23, plus that equals 20 something here. And that is a 6. It's a naked digit. 29 is the sum there. This sum must be 30 something, and it's 618937. Quickly, what do they add up to? They add up to, oh no, not 29, please. 918673, 34. And that is perfectly valid. In this box, 34 there, 29 there, 5, 7, 6 and 1. No repeated digits. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hurrah. We get a 4 there. Let's get rid of that colouring. Oh, I can finish off the colouring outside. Those go green. Done all the clues. Now, the rest had better just be Sudoku because I've got no ideas left. I really am exhausted out of ideas on this puzzle, but I love it to death. It is so clever. 8 there and 5 there. I don't know if I'll get a tick for this. Probably don't. Okay, well, I don't think we'll get a tick, and I don't think Sven's software, no, it says bobbins, it doesn't look right. And that's because it's, I don't know what, it's because we haven't filled in stuff. And because we've got digits in the perimeter repeated. Okay, it doesn't understand that. But this is the right answer, and believe me, I've worked at it. We could even fill in the remaining x sums just for fun. So that's a 45. This is adding 3, 5 and 2. That's a 10. This one is adding 4, 1, 8 and 7. That's a 20. Why do you regard this as fun? I hear you saying. This is adding all of those. That makes it a 40. This is adding those, which look like they add up to 21. This is just adding those, which makes it a 6. And this is a 1, clearly. And this is adding 6 of those. That's 25. Now, don't write in if I make a maths error here, because this just doesn't matter for the puzzle. I think I should be consistent with how I'm showing the tens digit. 5, 4, 3, 1, 7, 20. This is really just to demonstrate that every row and column in a Sudoku has an X sums sum that you can calculate. Like, there always is one. It's not as if they are impossible to understand as concepts for any column or any row. So that is 15, I think. This one is obviously 45. 6 ones, so that is missing 16. That is a 29, and that is the completionist version of this puzzle. You absolutely do not need to put in these white perimeter numbers to finish it. You don't really even need to fill these in, because that's not part of the puzzle. It's just getting the 9x9 grid done, and I am very pleased to have that done. I'm very impressed, as always, by Udakos, and I hope you enjoyed that solve. It's been a long one, but it's been great fun. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.